Hello everybody, welcome to our first ever PolyNerdic thoughts and reaction videos. I thought about calling it a reaction video, but I have beef with the concept of reaction videos because the internet seems to think that the only way to do reaction videos is to freak out when you do a thing, and I don't like that. I like to give you my thoughts more often than not. Occasionally something will hit me in a way that makes me just want to shout and scream about it, but that's not my style. If you've watched any of this stuff that I've put out over the last 4 years, you know that that's just generally not who I am. I don't do the backflip out of my chair and pull my hair out and scream, and typically my eyes don't get big like this, and I'm not all like, "Oh, dude, did you see that?" That's just not who I am. So you're not gonna see that in this video. Unfortunately, I don't get to react to this live because it was on during my lunch break, thereabouts. So I didn't get to watch all of it. I got to saw bits and pieces of it while I ate lunch and worked. I had it playing in the background. So I'm looking forward to getting to sit and watch it really closely for the sake of copyright and whatnot, because that's still just a real gray area. There's going to be no audio in this. I'm not going to include any audio from the video. It's just going to be the video itself. And I'm also only going to include the bits that are gameplay. But I am going to talk about what I think, my initial thoughts and reactions, like it says up there. I was impressed largely with what we saw. Now, you can argue this wasn't really gameplay. I saw when I watched it that and heard that they said that it was in-engine gameplay footage. Now, I didn't see any HUD displays in most of this footage, so you can argue that it's not actually gameplay. I think it was stuff rendered in the gameplay engine and then edited to be fancy for the most part. Like Grand Theft Auto 5 lets you do that on the PC, I believe, where you can record, or maybe it was 4. It's been around a while where you could record in-game stuff and then, move the camera around and stuff like that and make little highlight reels. I think that's similar in theory to what we saw here. So let me go ahead and switch over to the thing. So we have it up. I got it up full screen. Hopefully this looks all right. And let's get into it. As I said, we're going to skip around and only see the gameplay stuff. Anytime somebody comes up, I will move it forward. This right here, this game right here that they start with, just had me shell-shocked. It looks awesome, in my opinion. I'm just going to go ahead and get that out there now. This game looks amazing to me. I cannot wait to play it. I love the idea of being like some weird cyberpunk ninja assassin type. Yeah. Well, it says up there, game footage is representative of the Xbox Series X visual quality. I think this is beautiful. This is a sharp-looking game. Maybe a little muddier than it will be in the final version, but I dig what I got here out of this. Like, this just looks fun. If it feels at all like Titanfall or Call of Duty at its best, it's going to be great. Like, I like that the pieces of the shield clipped off as he shot it with a shotgun, and they just sliced and diced him. Pulled him in and cut him in half. That's just beautiful. I like the tether thing, grappling hook. It reminds me of Bulletstorm. That's one we're going to play soon on stream. I have it on both the Xbox and the PlayStation 4. We're going to bring it in soon. It's one I've been wanting to stream ever since I started streaming. And now that I've got this fancy setup, we're going for it. This car bit was unexpected. And they get this thing, and then we get a little sharp cut. So there's some driving in this game. The fire effects look good in my opinion. So does the wind, the debris. I think this is a sharp-looking game. I saw some people during the... now, is it Bright Memory Infinite or Infinite Bright Memory? Bright Infinite Memory? I don't know. So, that was our first look at Xbox Series X footage. At least representative of what it's going to look like. I liked it a lot. Come back here for another world premiere. All these looked interesting in their own way. Now, I'm not saying all of them are guaranteed sellers. Like this one right here. Again, right there, it says right on the screen that it's gameplay. I love this smart delivery concept. That's something that kept coming up in this presentation. Microsoft really just kind of threw the gauntlet down at Sony on this one and said, look, you buy this game on your Xbox One. Later on, you know, 6 months later, whenever you can afford it, whenever they're available, you pick up Series X, you're going to be able to play that game on Series X. Smart delivery, it's all going to go, you know, we're already in the era of backwards compatibility and whatnot, so now we have forward compatibility, essentially, where you will get the best version of the game from buying it a single time. Now that leads me to question how much are games going to cost moving forward. You know, you got guys like Colin Moriarty out there who for years have been saying that next-gen games have to cost $70. I would like to think they don't have to cost that. Will they? Who knows? We don't even know what the consoles are going to cost yet. Dirt 5 looks amazing. I'm not a fan of the Dirt series, but it was a visually pleasing thing. I want to know. I want to know how much this stuff's going to cost. You know, what's it going to cost us? This game here, man. This is some Geiger-esque nastiness here. Like, I'm both repulsed and intrigued by this. Look at that. Looks like something straight out of Alien. The architecture, the design. That thing's got a womb. Like, when this first came up, I thought, are we looking at a new Alien game? Because it certainly looks like that sort of thing, but it's not. It's a separate entity thing. Yeah, just so gross looking. It's like Geiger meets Hellraiser. I think this game's called Scorn. Like, are those statues or giant dead things? Like, that's some alien race. I don't know. I'm intrigued, though. Obviously, this is not enough to go on. We don't even know what kind of game this is. But the visuals are certainly intriguing. Like, is this going to be some sort of Dark Souls-esque sci-fi game? That's gross, the way it's, like, clogged up his eyes and his nose. Its eyes and its nose, I don't know. So gross looking. It's just disgusting. Yeah, it's called Scorn. No idea what that game's about, but it certainly has a visual style that is interesting. But yeah, how much is this stuff going to cost? You know, with this forward and backwards compatibility, like, are we going to have to pay more for our games in order to have the best delivery? Will Sony match this? That's another huge one. You would think they will, that Sony would be right on top of it. This game here has some interesting visuals too. Like, I love a good aerial game. Ace Combat, the newest one of it that came out last year, is really solid. I just wonder if it's going to be all aerial combat, or will there be on-foot segments like these cutscene-looking things are showing. That's another thing. Like, are we out of the era of the cutscene? Like, will it all be seamless? A number of games have pulled that off now, where there's just seamless transitions from, you know, gameplay to cinematic. I get some Colony War vibes there from the space battle stuff. Cut my thumb open at some point. I don't know what I did it on. Yeah, this overall, I'm very positive on what Xbox showed us today. And I understand this is pronounced Chorus, not Corvus. even though they plainly used a V in that on that word. I was thrilled. I saw people complaining during the live feed. I don't know, man. I thought it was fine. I was thrilled with everything they showed us. For the most part, like, let's be real. I could care less about Madden. I haven't played a Madden game in a decade. There was a time when I was one of those people that bought it every year, and then I became a person that bought it every few years, and then now I'm just a person that never buys or plays it. I think I played when I first got my Xbox. I had the EA version of Game Pass, whatever it's called, and I played a Madden then. Did a joint season with my buddy Roger. We got to the Super Bowl. I think he won. It was a close game, but I think he won by a touchdown or two. And watching this progression through the years of Madden is pretty interesting. It's come a long, long way, but so has video games. I still say I think 06 was my all-time favorite Madden. That was the one where you had the franchise mode and you could meticulously like tweak ticket prices and concession prices and stuff. It was also the year with the QB vision cone, but thankfully you could turn that nonsense off. But yeah, I haven't been interested in a Madden game in a very long time, and probably wouldn't have even played the last one I did if it wasn't for my friend wanting to do a season together. Didn't even get the second season off the ground. I mean, it was like a one and done thing. Madden's gonna be cool, I bet. So let's go ahead and pull off her, and we'll move up to the next game. This next game is one that just had me practically on my feet. I have been looking forward to this. I have no affinity for this franchise, but I loved this trailer. Playing Donka Shane. It's just creepy. Graphically, maybe not the most impressive thing we've seen here. Definitely looks like a video game. But I highly suggest you look at this trailer with audio, because this trailer was amazing. Between the song and then the stuff that goes on in it, and then of course, like I have an affinity for this type of story. God, that's terrible. That's a terrible way to go. Have your mouth pulled open like that. And your eyeballs exposed like that. Eyelids ripped off? Is that what it would take to do that? This game looks like it could be a lot of fun. I just hope it gets just a little more polish. Because this is a game that I will say does not like truly look like the leap forward you want it to be. Because let's be real, like a couple years ago when they started talking about PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox, I was pretty mad because I had only had my current gen consoles for about 3 years at that point. But now that we've had 2-3 years of lead up to it, I'm ready for the next consoles. Maybe not financially ready for them, but I'm ready for them. I really want to get into some of these next gen games. I just wish this one looked a little more next gen. Like, that's a cool ass effect, catching the axe. Some telekinesis, all kinds of cool vampire powers. I have no affinity for this franchise. I hear the original Bloodlines game feels very much like an old game. You can play it right now on a number of places. But I look forward to where that one goes and how that one feels to play. This one here is probably one of the ones that I have the least immediate passion for. Because at first glance, it reminded me of The Witness or Firewatch. The Witness I really didn't care for. Firewatch was all right. It wasn't bad. I just didn't love it the way other people did. Bump my mouse. Forgive me. But this one does seem like it could be interesting. There's a nice mystery angle here. I'm just not sold on the art style. It's pretty. But again, it kind of falls in that, well, except for the water here. I think the rain effects are pretty clearly next gen. And some of that lighting is too. But a lot of it did not look like the big leap forward you want. Granted, we never see the huge leap forward right away. Like, especially when we're in the era of the games that have to be on both. I'm hoping because of the smart delivery thing that Xbox is doing, that Sony will follow suit and we won't see that thing where the previous gen is holding the current gen, the new gen back. Now this game here makes me wonder, and I said something about it on Twitter, is Cyberpunk the new zombies in video games? Because, you know, we have Cyberpunk 2077 comes out this year. We have this game here, which is very Blade Runner-y, Cyberpunk style storytelling. There's a game out called Shadowrunner, I think is what it's called. It's on. You can demo it on Steam right now. I can't because my graphics card is definitely not good enough for it. But you can demo it on Steam, and it is apparently coming to PS4 and PlayStation and Xbox. Forgive me. It is coming to PlayStation and Xbox later this year. It doesn't have a definitive release date, but like Cyberpunk just seems to be everywhere, much in the way that zombies have been for a long time. And I like the look of this game a whole lot. I like this isometric view, kind of Diablo-esque, run and gun. It's probably a twin-stick shooter, I would assume, based on the look of it. It just looks like a hell of a lot of fun, or like it could be a hell of a lot of fun. I wonder how much RPG elements there are here. Pretty sure it's a multiplayer based on that. The Ascent is one that's definitely high on my priority list here. And again, I implore you, go back and watch this with audio. I would have the audio up, at least softly, but this is the first time I've done one of these, and I don't want to get dinged, you know, and have this video taken down or whatever. This game here also looks interesting, up to a point. I'll just go ahead and say it. This is Bloober Team that's making this. They made the, in my opinion, disappointing Layers of Fear franchise. I only played Layers of Fear 1. I found it to be an interesting concept, but a mediocre game overall, and certainly wasn't scary. I laughed out loud at a lot of the stuff that was supposed to be scary. I did not play Observer or Layers of Fear 2. Sorry, I bumped the mouse again with my foot. So I don't know quite what to make of this one. I'm not necessarily immediately in love with it. It looks conceptually cool, like what the hell's going on with this lady. Obviously, there's a baby involved. Was there a miscarriage? Was there murder involved? Like, what is going on? The visuals of the church disintegrating and turning all kind of demonic looking. Could be very, very, very interesting. Could also end up being mediocre. But visually, I found that pretty appealing. Comes out this year. Probably going to be a launch title. Let me go ahead and switch back to me for a second. Get to see me in large here. That's where they discussed it as a Bloober Team game. All right. We're back to this. Play. World premiere. This game here looks interesting as hell. It's another one, though, that could look interesting and end up being awful considering who made it. Not to besmirch the name of Bandai Namco, but they don't always make games that I find to be the best. But visually, this is something else. Anime as hell. The monsters are looking pretty interesting. The combat looks like it might be amazing if it's done right. Yeah, look at these things. It's just creepy. I can't wait to see how this game feels to play. It looks like it could be in that Platinum style, which does give me concern. I'm not a huge Platinum fan. It's well documented that Nier Automata is the only Platinum game I've ever really loved. But I loved it a lot for what it's worth. Like, I loved Nier Automata more than I disliked Bayonetta. But yeah, this stylized anime telekinetic action looks like it could be a lot of fun. But also it could not. I mean, obviously we have no hands-on time with this stuff yet. At least nobody on my level does. Who knows how much stuff the games media has actually seen. Apologize for the yawning. Good Lord. Like, enemy design's pretty interesting, and they're big. Could be a lot of fun. It has a lot of potential, and that's what excites me the most about it. It has a ton of potential. Scarlet Nexus is the name of that game. Interesting title. Interested in seeing how that plays in, or is it just two words they picked? It's like Horizon Zero Dawn sounds like just a collection of unrelated words until you hear why it was called that late in the game. I was more interested in this game until I saw what the enemies are. And you'll see in just a second. I won't spoil it. The game looks beautiful. I like the environments. Guns look sharp, but there's dinosaurs. This is a dinosaur first-person shooter. I know a lot of people love dinosaurs, and I don't dislike them. I don't have a problem with dinosaurs, but I also they're not my favorite thing in the whole world, so I'm not necessarily like chomping at the bit to play this. It looks like it could be fun though. Obviously multiplayer. What do you want to bet this is a live service game? Dinosaur Destiny. I bet it's a live service game. I think we're getting towards the end here. The new Yakuza game. I'm about this one, except for the combat. I love the Yakuza franchise so much. At least the remakes of the early games and the newest ones. I've been trying to play 3. I've been trying to play 3, but the combat is just so bad in it that I don't enjoy it. I have a real hard time with the game. Now this one is the one that famously, if you're aware of it, it's no longer a 3D brawler. It's a RPG. It's got turn-based combat in it. Tells the story of that guy who went to jail for his family, just like Kiryu did, to be honest. So they're retreading that ground. Went to jail for his family, comes out expecting to be like revered for it and respected, and instead they try to kill him. So now he's on a quest for vengeance, as you are. There's Majima. We got some returning characters from the proper franchise. Looks like it has plenty of the crazy over the top nonsense and funny, and comedy and whatnot. My question is how's that turn-based combat going to work? Is it going to be fun? Because I quite like what they did with the later Yakuza games, with the punching and the kicking and the using the environmental weapons and stuff. I thought it was fantastic. What I panned away from here is the announcement that Yakuza Like a Dragon will be part of the launch series, or for Series X. And it'll be on Xbox One and Windows 10. It's going to be a launch title game for the Series X, which is fantastic because we're starting to get confirmation of what is and isn't going to be available at launch. Because with the current world situation, no one really knows. Like, we found out a couple weeks ago that Sony is expecting like 5 to 6 million less units than they sold in the first quarter of the PlayStation 4. So we don't know what that means. I'm hanging in here for just a second because there is one more little glimpse that they're about to throw at us, and it's Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Still, again, not sure how I feel about that game. Like, I like Vikings a whole lot, but I'm also tired of naval stuff in my Assassin's Creed. I just don't enjoy it, and it being a Viking game, I'm sure there's going to be lots of boat combat, and just not my thing, you know? Here we go. We're getting ready to switch to more Valhalla stuff, so I'll switch over as soon as we get there. I'll also be ready to pause it. I quite like this overall presentation, though. I give this presentation a thumbs up, definitely. I am very, very excited for the next consoles now. I wasn't a year ago, 2 years ago especially. But now that we're close and, we've got to make it through the remainder of the year, I can't wait. I can't wait for holiday season 2020 to roll around, and hopefully, if not before Christmas, sometime early next year, get my hands on one of these new consoles. Whether it's the Xbox or the PlayStation, I don't care. I just want to be able to play. See, I told you boat stuff. There's going to be boat stuff all over this game, and I'm going to hate it. I did read today that they said that Valhalla will be shorter than Odyssey, so thank goodness for that. Because I liked Odyssey a whole lot. Not as much as I liked Origins, but Odyssey just kept going. It just never ended. I've never finished it. I feel like I put in 100 hours and I'm like halfway through it. But it looks like an Assassin's Creed game based on these clips. He runs and fights like an Assassin's Creed game. The environments look like Assassin's Creed. I do think, as I said at the beginning, that it's kind of lame that they touted this as a gameplay reveal presentation when everything we saw was stuff rendered in engine, but was still very much trailers. Like, that was not gameplay. That was gameplay made fancy, Like, they did a thing to clean it up and make it more of a presentation than just straight gameplay. And I was hoping for just to look at what it was going to look like running. Give me 5 minutes of Assassin's Creed gameplay. Show me them running around doing stuff. Don't give me the trailer treatment that you gave me. Overall, as I said, thumbs up on this presentation. I think Microsoft did an amazing job showing us stuff, even if it wasn't in the manner I wanted to be shown stuff. And we saw some stuff that I'm really interested in now, especially that Ascent game. That's like the standout game for me. Like, I knew about Yakuza Like a Dragon. I knew about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I didn't know about the Ascent. I didn't know about that first game, which title has escaped me. Infinite Bright Memory, whatever the hell it's actually called. That Samurai Cyberpunk game. The two Cyberpunk games are the two that stood out to me. As much as I was jokingly complaining about Cyberpunks being the new ninjas, I'm very excited by both those properties and their potential. Other stuff less so. The one that reminded me of The Witness or Firewatch, I need to see more of that. I need to see more of the Bluebird Team game. I definitely need to see more of Assassin's Creed before I get excited about it. I need to know how much boat stuff is in it, because if you played Origins, it was in it a little bit, but not that much. Like, you could get on boats to move around the big bodies of water, but the actual boat combat was a minor part of Origins. And then Odyssey, it became the focus for the most part, because you were on all those Greek islands and you spent a lot of time in the water, and I hated every minute of that time, with the exception of the ramming other boats. That was the most fun. But I think Microsoft did a good presentation here. I'm interested in seeing what Sony comes with next. I'm hoping in the near future, next week or so, we see Sony's response. I want to see some Sony games played. Now that we know that The Last of Us 2 is coming out right around the corner and it's not going to be a launch title for the PlayStation 5, I want to see some PlayStation 5 stuff. Show me some PlayStation 5 exclusive stuff. I'm not sure how much of what we saw today was Xbox exclusive, but I want to see what the PlayStation 5 can do. And please, both of you, get out there and tell us what it's going to cost. Sony and Microsoft, I'm begging you to tell us what these consoles are going to cost us so I can start saving. So I know what it's going to cost me. But I think that's it for this video. I apologize for not having the audio of the presentation up. Just a little skittish about having the video getting taken down or a strike on the channel or whatever. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. PolyNerdic on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Discord. We have a Discord, so you can join the conversation there. We also have a Patreon if you are at all interested in throwing us a couple bucks to make our productions better. And I'll see you very soon in just a little bit with some Animal Crossing streams if you're watching live. Or if you're watching this right after it goes up, I'll probably be live with Animal Crossing. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time here on PolyNerdic.com and all the assorted PolyNerdic channels.